So the next news that I wanted to talk about, this is a little more interesting in a way. Now, look, I do not know college basketball at all, so take this with a grain of salt, y'all. Especially when I talk about the draft stuff later, please take it with a grain of salt. I am far from a college basketball expert. I am far from a NBA draft expert, but I feel like this is worth discussing. And I've seen some feedback on Twitter, and it looks positive. Appreciate you, So Says Jay, for being here. Shout out to Fanning the Flames podcast. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here, bro. And thank you to everybody that's here. I see my guy, Super Mario Hoops, is in here. Daniel, Chris, Top 5 Live, Kevin. Thank you guys for all being here. I appreciate it. At least where I live, this news came out really early in the morning, and I am not a morning person. I'm a night owl. But I happened to be awake around the time this tweet and report came out. So earlier this morning, the Phoenix Suns, and Woj was confirming this with Pete Thamel. I hope I pronounced that right. ESPN sources with Pete Thamel. Former University of Washington head coach Mike Hopkins, a two-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year, has agreed on a deal to become an assistant for the Phoenix Suns. Hopkins joins Mike Budenholzer's new staff after 3 decades in college basketball. Now, look, even though I don't really know college basketball that well, I have heard this name before, but like I knew like very little to nothing about him, but I've heard that name before. And I mean, I know it's a small tweet. We're going to dive into the story in a minute, but two-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year, and has had 3 decades, not 3 years, 3 decades in college basketball. So pretty much the amount of time that I have been on this earth, this guy has been coaching in college basketball. So Mike Hopkins joins the Phoenix Suns. And if we go to the ESPN article, let me just scroll down a little bit here. This is from Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN.
1 minute later.
Casey says, Suns Geek is live. Must have to do with the Phoenix Suns. I hope we're still live. I got like a little notification saying that my browser was doing something, but appreciate you being here, Casey. All right, cool. Hopefully we're still live. Anyways, thank you, the Waters. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, cool. So yeah, this is from the ESPN article, and it's a short article. It's just kind of sweet and straight to the point. But after 7 seasons with the Huskies and 30 plus overall, I don't know if he meant to say years, and 30 plus overall in college basketball, Hopkins joins Mike Budenholzer's new coaching staff that will include David Fizdale and Chad Forcier. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Hopkins had a 122 to 110 record with Washington, including a 2019 conference title and an NCAA tournament bid. And it says that he played for Jim Boeheim at Syracuse, spent 22 years as an assistant on his coaching staff. So he was an assistant for 22 years with one of the greatest coaches in college basketball. So that has to count for something. And quote, I don't know if y'all will be able to see this, but I'm going to kind of hover over it. Hopkins also has experience coaching NBA players during his time on the coaching staff for USA Basketball. So y'all, like, I don't want to like overhype this hiring or anything, but first off, he's a 2-time, Pac-12 Coach of the Year, 30 years plus of coaching experience, was an assistant coach for 22 years for one of the greatest coaches ever, and has coaching experience with NBA players, not just like NBA players, but superstars, rising stars, young NBA players because of US coaching in USA Basketball. That is awesome. That is a hell of a hire. So even though I was just criticizing James Jones, great job, James Jones, and whoever else signed off on this. I think this is an excellent hire. That should get Suns fans excited. Now, not included in the article here because I don't know if it's been made official. That's why I haven't really talked about it yet. The Suns also hired, first off, David Fizdale stayed on the staff because there was a report saying like David Fizdale may not come back as a coach, but he's going to join the front office because he, was part of the Jazz front office for a couple of years. Every other coach from the Suns and Frank Vogel stuff got let go. But I believe there was a report about Vince Lagarza, however you pronounce that he was hired, although I don't know if it's actually been made official because Woj didn't put that in his report, but he did put in the report Chasen Allen, if that's how you pronounce it, who most recently served as the head coach of the Wisconsin Herd in the NBA G League affiliate, the Bucks. But we'll see. I'm sure there's probably like 3 or 4 other coaching spots and assistant coaches that will have to be announced. I'm sure sometime before the season, the Suns will put out a big article saying 2024-25 coaching staff Phoenix Suns, and they'll have a breakdown of all the coaches and resumes and all that. So we will have to see on that. But hey, I mean, with Mike Hopkins, definitely seems like a slam dunk, and I am excited. So great job, Phoenix Suns. That's the kind of stuff I want to see from James Jones, who I criticize from time to time. All right. So let's keep moving on here, you guys. See if you guys can see that okay. Let me lower this graphic here. There we go. Uh-oh. Your browser has lost connection. What's going on? We still live, y'all? I think we're still live. I don't know what's going on. Let me know if we're still live, y'all. Casey says, Suns Geek is live. Must have to do with the Phoenix Suns. I hope we're still live. I got like a little notification saying that my browser was doing something, but appreciate you being here, Casey.
Let me zoom in here so you guys can see. Joey, appreciate you being here, man. Let's zoom in a little bit. Can you see that okay? Let me take some of my water real quick and we will talk about this coaching hire.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
What's up, Suns Geek?